But yes, you can't see it. It's light up.
Hey guys, welcome back to Cosplay Life. I'm Air Bear and welcome back to the Cosplaying 101 series. Today we are on step 8, which is posing. If you're looking for the previous 7 steps, check in the description box for links to those videos. Now, why is posing important? Well, let me tell you a story. On my very first day of Dragon Con, I was dressed up as the Fall Fairy and I didn't really practice my pose beforehand. I just kind of did like this pose which looked really awkward, and midway through the day I bumped that pose and I came up with a new one, which was basically just hands on the hips and smiling, which didn't really fit my character. And all day I kept watching other people do poses, and they would do like these epic sort of like poses that made them look like they were gonna come through the camera at you, and they just looked really cool. And I didn't. The reason why you want to come up with a pose is because you want to be prepared. People are going to ask you all day if they can have a picture with you, if they can have a picture of you, and you just want to make sure that you know what you're going to do so that you're not taking up their time, and so you can make sure all your pictures look good. So first, you want to figure out your pose. In order to do this, I like to go online and look at pictures of my character. How are they usually standing, and how are they usually holding their arm? What does their face usually look like? I also like to think about their personality. Are they like a sexy sort of person? Or are they like super bubbly? Or are they evil? Or are they maybe insane? Do you want to do an insane pose?
No, keep it good.
Alright. Sometimes I also like to look at what other cosplayers do. I don't like to do this too often, but when you're a beginner, it could be a good idea because someone else has figured out how to do like a great pose for his character and you don't have to start from scratch. After you select your first pose, you may also want to come up with a second pose because people are inevitably going to ask you, can I have another picture? And you don't want to have the same pose for both pictures. Also, figure out the picture you're going to do with other people. Are you going to incorporate them into like your character, or are you going to just kind of do like the, hey, we're together? And figure out how you're going to pose with children, because if you're dressed up in a costume, parents are going to ask you to take a picture with their kid. What was that? We were at Dragon Con and that kid, his name was Gambit, and they asked you to take a picture.
Yeah.
The kid's name was Gambit, and they asked Lovebug to take a picture with Gambit.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, those are cool parents. Name your kid Gambit. That's awesome. Anywho, so you also want to figure out how you're going to pose with children because they're physically just not on the same level as you. So are you going to get down on their level? You may need to change up your pose. Like if your pose is kind of sexualized, you may need to change it if you have a kid in your picture. So those might be things you want to consider. So after you figure out what pose you want to do, it is time to practice it a lot. The more times you practice it, the better, because you can just get better and better at striking the pose and doing it the same way every time. For Sith Leia, I didn't practice the pose, and in some pictures I looked good, and in other pictures I didn't look good. But if I had practiced it, I would have known every time in every picture that it was going to look the same and it was going to look good. Practice your pose enough that you can just like hit it every time. But you don't want to jump like that because that's annoying. We'll get to that later. You can practice your pose in a mirror. That way you can see what you look like. Also have someone take a picture of you doing your pose. That way you can check your trouble spots, check to make sure you're not flashing anybody, make sure it looks good, that your face is bright enough, that you're not showing off any of your goodies, that you don't have double boob or muffin top or camel toe or snake face or moose knuckle, any of that poop. And when you're practicing your pose, figure out where you're going to put your stuff. Are you going to hold it on you, or are you going to put it down somewhere, or is someone else going to hold it for you? One issue that I have a lot is where am I going to put my glasses, because none of my cosplays have glasses. And you also you want to put your glasses someplace where they're not going to get dirty or crushed or lost, because when you're not wearing glasses you can't see where your glasses are. What I've started doing is I put my glasses like right here. That way they won't get dirty and I know exactly where they are. But some outfits like Poison Ivy, I couldn't put them there. Sometimes you might just have to have someone else hold it, but a lot of times they're going to be in the picture too. Well, with me, because it's usually Lovebug, and he's usually in the picture too, and he can't hold glasses while I'm posing, and he's also posing. So yeah, if you have glasses, just think about a place where you're going to put them. So we talked about figuring out what sort of pose you're going to do and about practicing your pose. Let's go outside to go over some posing tips. Posing tips. Tip number 1. Remember 3/4. So you don't want to turn completely profile to the camera, and I usually don't turn straight on to the camera unless like I'm doing something evil that's coming at it. But what I do is I turn 3/4, which is like halfway between. And the reason why I do this is because it gives you like negative space, it gives your body shape, it just makes you look more active and it's visually appealing. Tip number 2. Move your arms and your hands. Unless your character calls for it, do not leave your hands by your side. At least put your hands up on your waist. Pick them up and do something. Also figure out what your fingers are going to do. Are they tense fingers or are they soft fingers? That will depend on your character. Tip number 3, move your legs. I like to do leg lunges, either lunging away from the camera or lunging toward the camera, or lunging like to one side or the other. Yeah, leg lunges give you more movement and power in your pictures. You can also get like super low with the leg lunges. Tip number 4, incorporate your weapon. I don't have a weapon, I just have a hula hoop. But incorporate your weapon into your pose. It gives you something to do with your arms. Yeah. Also, you can incorporate your power into your pose, so like force push or air bending or water bending or what have you. Now for warnings, jumping poses. Jumping poses look really good, but they can be extremely tiring. No one's ever ready to take your picture. You have to make sure that your face doesn't look awful when you're jumping. You have to make sure that everything's still in check and that all your extremities look right when you're jumping. It could be cool, but it could also turn out really, really awful. So just make sure you can do a jumping pose well before you decide that jumping is your pose. And if you are doing a jumping pose, you may want to come up with a second pose that's easier to do for when you inevitably get tired, or if you don't have enough room to do a jumping pose. Second warning, make sure you have the physical ability to do your pose. So if you're doing a pose that requires balance, like where you're standing on one leg, make sure that you can hold that pose for a length of time, because lots of people are going to want to take pictures of you, and when one person starts taking a picture, someone else is going to take a picture, someone else is going to take a picture, and you want to make sure that you can hold your pose that whole time and not doing this or this, because that doesn't look good in a picture. If you're holding something over your head for your pose, make sure you can hold it for that length of time. If you're lunging, make sure you can lunge for that whole time, that your leg is not going to give out on you. Yes, those are my warnings. So that about does it for step 8, which is posing. I feel like I'm forgetting something. If I am, and you know what it is, leave it in the comment section. If you have any questions about your specific cosplay, leave that in the comment section as well. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so that I know to make more videos just like this one. And the next video in this series is going to be step 9, which is making your cosplay. If you want to receive a notification when that video comes out, make sure you hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time. Deuces. Whoa, oh man! I'm just trying to knee hoop. That's all I'm trying to do. I can do it now. This is not a good pose because I cannot do it every time. I'm done.